There is something that just needs to be said. There's so many things that need to be said. I am hearing so many things, and I am so proud of myself. I'm feeling so electrified, and I just couldn't even write it because it just needed to be spoken. I have always had this innate capacity to feel deeply, to feel into others, to feel into myself, into art. I have always been the person that is sensitive. I've always been the sensitive, the HSP, the empath. And this has always been one of my gifts, one of my many gifts given to me by the ancient ones, the primordial ones, the ancestors, the all, in its so many forms. And when I was younger, this feeling was too much. It was too much for me. It was too much for my body to handle, or so I thought. It was too much for me to process, and I shut down. A little girl hearing and feeling everything around her, being pumped up with negative thoughts and programming, being exposed to such impurities. And the only way I knew how to protect myself was to shut down, to disassociate, to numb. And in doing so, I cut myself off from the very gift, the very thing that was my medicine, my guiding post, my compass, my lighthouse, my intuition, my ability to create from a place of connection, my ability to commune with my soul and come into harmony with my spirit, my ability to navigate, to purge, to create. And now, having gone through the necessary transformations to remove that disassociation, to come back into aliveness, to come back into a presentness with myself, into a willingness to feel all of my feelings, a willingness to embrace pain, heartbreak, rather than running from it, a willingness to sense into my discomfort and give it a voice, a willingness to sense into my desires and give them a voice, a willingness to listen to the voice within. I have accessed new levels of self-understanding, new levels of wisdom, new ability and depth in connection to myself, and therefore my connection to life, to people, has strengthened as a result. And this was not overnight. This was not magic, but it was. It was magic. And now I'm being called to teach this, to give insight. And it's only right that I would use the same things that had helped me through, which is music, dance, meditation, journaling. These were my methods. These were the things that got me from point A to point B. Affirmations, subliminals, prayer, intention setting. That is how it was done. And it was done through feeling. And now that I've retrieved my capacity to feel deeply, to feel fully without shutting down, without suppressing, without disassociating, without having panic attacks, without closing myself off from the world, without closing myself off from myself, without self-harming. Now that I've accessed this ability, now that I've accessed my magic, now that I've accessed my voice, I am able to call in and sense and feel my blessings, my manifestations, the same way I once upon a time, all I could feel was, well, I won't say all I could feel, but so much of what I was feeling was the outside world. Now I can feel my ancestors. I can feel the voice of God. I can feel my wisdom. I can feel my desires, so much so that this full body feeling is exactly what brings them into being. Full body feeling is what brings your desires into being. Therefore, we cannot afford to run from this gift of sensation, this gift that allows us, this form of divination that is feeling, that is sensation. Sensation as divination. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Capacity for feeling is what brings your desires into being. It is what brings you healing. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is not something to lie to yourself about, to pretend that you're someone else, to pretend that you're not sensitive, that you don't feel. This is such a time to be alive. And we didn't come here to move through this numbly. We came here to experience what it means to be a living, breathing being in a human vessel at this particular time, which means we have all the inner tools and resources already developed and developing for this to continue and for this to manifest, for this moment, this experience to be. And I just feel like that is such a gift and that is such a blessing, and there's so much wisdom that I have access through myself, but there's also so much wisdom for each one of you to access through your own feeling, your own bodies. And wow, a hawk. Confirmation. If life is an act of lovemaking, then your ability to feel deeply and surrender to yourself, to your pleasure, to your partner, which is your spirit, is what accesses orgasmic experience, is what accesses liberation in your body. It's what accesses the depths and the heights of your pleasure. It's what accesses transformation. It's what creates life. We are conscious erotic beings, and eroticism is about allowing yourself and giving yourself the permission to feel, to rewrite the story that says, I am not allowed to feel. I am not allowed to come undone. I am not allowed to rewrite the story that says, the world is so much louder than me and my pleasure. No. You are so much greater than all of the noise. And you deserve a life where the sound of your heart, the beating within your womb, pulses so much louder than the noise of this world, than the noise of your mind, than the noise of your ego. But you have to be the one to rewrite that story, to choose that for yourself. And if you don't know where to start, I invite you to stick around to this channel, 11:11 on the clock, because there is a movement on the way. There is a movement here today, right now. I love you so much. Blessings, blessings, blessings be upon you. See you next time.